Germany has a long and complex history with nuclear power. It is a history marked by deep-seated anti-nuclear sentiment. This sentiment predates the Chernobyl disaster. In the 1970s, Germany saw significant protests against nuclear power. People took to the streets. They voiced their fears about the risks associated with this technology. The 1979 Three Mile Island accident in the United States further fueled these anxieties. These early protests were a sign of things to come. They revealed a deep-seated unease within German society about nuclear power. This unease stemmed from a variety of concerns. These included the risks of accidents, the problem of nuclear waste disposal, and the potential links between nuclear energy and nuclear weapons proliferation. The anti-nuclear movement gained momentum throughout the 1970s and 1980s. The Green Party, founded in 1980, became a powerful voice for these concerns. They advocated for a shift away from nuclear power. They championed renewable energy sources like wind and solar. The Green Party's rise in German politics reflected a growing awareness of environmental issues. It also signaled a desire for a different energy future, one less reliant on potentially dangerous technologies. The Chernobyl disaster of 1986 proved to be a watershed moment for Germany's nuclear policy. The catastrophic explosion at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Soviet Ukraine sent shockwaves across Europe. It brought the dangers of nuclear power into sharp focus. Germany, though geographically distant from the disaster site, was not immune to its effects. Radioactive fallout reached German soil and contaminated food supplies. The Chernobyl disaster had a profound psychological impact on the German population. It solidified existing fears about the safety of nuclear power. The government's initial response, which was seen by some as downplaying the risks, further eroded public trust. The Green Party, with its long-standing opposition to nuclear power, gained significant political capital. The Chernobyl disaster exposed the inherent risks of nuclear power. It highlighted the potential for human error and technological failure to have devastating consequences. This event became a rallying cry for the anti-nuclear movement. It pushed the issue of nuclear safety to the forefront of German politics. The anti-nuclear sentiment, catalyzed by Chernobyl, had a lasting impact on German politics. The Social Democratic Party, under Gerhard Schröder's leadership, came to power in 1998. The SPD, in coalition with the Green Party, made phasing out nuclear power a central part of their agenda. This decision was a direct response to the growing public pressure to move away from nuclear energy. In 2002, the German parliament passed the Atomic Energy Act. This landmark legislation set Germany on a path towards a complete nuclear phase-out. The act established a timeline for the closure of all German nuclear power plants. It aimed to replace nuclear power with a combination of renewable energy sources and increased energy efficiency measures. Germany's decision to phase out nuclear power was a bold move. It signaled a significant shift in energy policy towards a more sustainable and, in the eyes of its proponents, safer energy future. This decision was praised by environmental groups and many citizens. However, it also faced criticism from those concerned about the potential economic and energy security implications of abandoning nuclear power. Section 4. The aftermath of Fukushima, doubling down on shutdown. The 2011 Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster in Japan had a profound impact on Germany's nuclear policy. The event, triggered by a massive earthquake and tsunami, reignited global anxieties about the safety of nuclear power. It raised questions about the ability of even advanced economies to fully manage the risks associated with this technology. The Fukushima disaster had a particularly strong resonance in Germany. Angela Merkel, the German chancellor at the time, initially a proponent of nuclear power, underwent a significant shift in her stance following Fukushima. The disaster led her to acknowledge the potential for catastrophic events that could overwhelm even the most robust safety measures. In response to Fukushima, Merkel's government accelerated the timeline for Germany's nuclear phase-out. Germany's decision to double down on its nuclear phase-out after Fukushima was a testament to the deep-seated anti-nuclear sentiment within the country. It also reflected a growing global awareness of the potential risks associated with nuclear power, particularly in the face of natural disasters and extreme events. Section 5. Germany's energy landscape, coal imports and rising costs. Germany's nuclear phase-out has had a significant impact on the country's energy landscape. The decision to abandon nuclear power created a substantial energy gap. Filling this gap has required a combination of increased reliance on fossil fuels, particularly coal, and a surge in energy imports from neighboring countries. This shift has raised concerns about Germany's environmental footprint. The increased reliance on coal, a major source of greenhouse gas emissions, has been a point of contention. Germany, a nation often lauded for its environmental leadership, has faced criticism for backtracking on its climate commitments. The expansion of coal mining operations to meet the growing energy demand has also fueled local protests. Citizens are concerned about the environmental damage and health risks associated with coal extraction and combustion. The phase-out of nuclear power has also made Germany more reliant on energy imports. This dependence on foreign energy sources, particularly natural gas from Russia, has raised concerns about energy security. The geopolitical implications of this reliance have come into sharp focus in recent years, highlighting the complexities of energy transitions. Section 6. France's nuclear ascent, from oil crisis to energy independence. France's nuclear journey stands in stark contrast to Germany's. While Germany grappled with anti-nuclear sentiment, France embarked on an ambitious nuclear program. This decision was primarily driven by the 1973 oil crisis. The crisis exposed France's vulnerability to disruptions in global energy markets. It spurred a desire for energy independence. Nuclear power, with its promise of domestic energy production, emerged as an attractive solution. France embarked on a rapid expansion of its nuclear capacity. The government implemented a standardized reactor design. This streamlined construction and reduced costs. By the early 21st century, France had become heavily reliant on nuclear power. It generated over 75% of its electricity from nuclear reactors. This made it the most nuclear-dependent country in the world. France's nuclear program achieved a degree of energy independence. It shielded the country from the volatility of global oil prices. It also positioned France as a major electricity exporter. However, this reliance on nuclear power has come with its own set of challenges. Section 7. The French Nuclear Paradox. Aging reactors and future uncertainty. France's nuclear fleet, once a source of national pride, is aging. Many reactors are approaching the end of their operational lifespan. This raises concerns about safety and the need for costly upgrades or decommissioning. The issue of nuclear waste disposal also looms large. France, like many other countries, is grappling with the long-term management of this hazardous material. Underinvestment in maintenance and a decline in skilled nuclear engineers have further compounded these challenges. The construction of new reactors like the Flamanville EPR project has been plagued by delays and cost overruns. This has raised questions about the feasibility of maintaining France's current level of nuclear reliance. France's energy future is uncertain. The country is at a crossroads, facing the complex task of balancing its reliance on aging nuclear power with the need to transition to a more sustainable energy mix. The debate over the role of nuclear power in France's energy future is likely to continue. It reflects a broader global debate about the costs, benefits, and risks of different energy sources.